So, an addendum, an addition to the video that I just made. The Bible tells you to consider yourself equal with God, to look at the kingdom of heaven as inside of yourself, right? Jesus said the things he did, you could do too and greater still. It esteems you above Jesus, right? They don't teach you this shit in church, but it's in the Bible. I'm going to offer that you can think this way without the fucking Bible. You don't need the Bible to think this way. If you could take it and then run with it in another direction. Go do your yoga that some churches will tell you is of the devil. Go practice some Hindu meditation and beliefs and Buddhist meditation beliefs that some Christian churches will tell you is of the devil, right? Jesus Christ submitted to baptism, which apparently originated in Chaldea, which was a Buddhist ritual. And if Jesus hadn't done it, churches would be telling you that's of the devil. So fuck the churches, okay? The point is even though we're cherry picking verses out of the Bible in little, areas where there are perhaps elements of wisdom, little bits of knowledge and good stuff, right? It doesn't change the fact that you go back and watch my video on contradictions. The Bible contradicts itself all over the place, right? If I gave you a recipe for cookies or brownies or cake or whatever, right? And you started, let's say you didn't look, which most Christians don't read the Bible. They just don't. They don't. But let's say you tasted the cookies, you tasted the brownies. For whatever reason, there was enough sugar and enough of everything else that they tasted delicious, right? But let's imagine you go and you look at the ingredients, and in the ingredients, there's like cobwebs and dust and rocks and rat shit and whatever else. You know what I mean? Just nasty. You realize, oh my God, that's what I'm eating. Would you continue eating the cookies or the cake or the muffins or whatever I gave you? You probably wouldn't. You'd look at the ingredients and say, that's fucked up, right? That right there is fucked up. But Christians in particular, and some people don't care about this. I was raised in this culture, so I care about it, and I'm talking about it because I know a lot about it. If you look at the Bible, let's imagine all the verses of the Bible, all the books of the Bible, that's the ingredients of Christianity, right? That's the ingredients. That's what you have. That's why you're able to call yourself a Christian in the first place, because of these books that have been copied and copied. The longest game of telephone ever played by humanity, right? Not to mention the fact that the church, the Christian church, and yeah, I know I think there's something like 50,000 denominations. Like it's ridiculous, the number of different schools of thought and areas of where they interpret it this way or this way or this way. In Christianity, it's insane. All these different factions that disagree. One thing remains the same: they're all getting their information out of the Bible, and the Bible, I show in my video on contradictions, contradicts itself over and over and over and over again. It's fucked up. It's a fucked up book, right? So the point is. Why not, like other areas of life, pull what's good from it? Pull what might benefit you, what might be valuable, and use that in your life. And the rest of the shit, regard as shit and throw it away like shit. I know you feel that if you do that and you're a Christian, maybe you're going to go to hell. But guess what? Maybe you won't. And maybe you'll be a wiser human being, right? Maybe you'll figure some shit out instead of just flowing along with and I'm not saying, look, flowing along with the river of life is fine. I think it takes you in the direction that you need to go. But with the river of fundamental Christianity, I think we've been going through my house, which was my mother's old house. And I'm finding a lot of letters from my grandfather to my mom and to me. And my grandfather was a staunch Catholic, very, very hardcore. And he was a mean guy. Reading back over some of the shit that he sent to the people he supposedly loved, man, I couldn't imagine talking to my son that way. Like, he was a confused soul, and I feel for him, you know. And that's why I'm making these videos. I think that a lot of what fundamental Christianity offers, I don't care what denomination, I don't care if you're Catholic or Protestant or, you know, King James only or Pentecostal or charismatic, etc., which I should do a video on that too, because I have some experience therewith. But the point being, regardless of where you place yourself in the Christian pantheon, dude, the book is fucked up. And at the end of the day, it positions itself in a place of, you know, God can't forgive you or be your daddy or be your friend without blood sacrifice being offered to him. That's what makes him, that's what pleases God, right? It's a religion based in blood sacrifice. And, you know, unless you can interpret the whole book like a parable, which I think is the wisest, and look at the blood sacrifice as something other than fucking blood sacrifice, most of you are literally believing in a book that champions blood sacrifice at the end of the day. And how do you feel about yourself with that being the case, you know? Anyway, I'm going to shut up. I hope your day is as bright and shiny. Look at the sun up there. Can you see the sun up there? Oh my God. Ah! I hope your day is as bright and as shiny as mine. And I wish you good things. Only love.